What does this mean? Look at that RTV making a question mark. Speak up, man. What does this mean? 2023 GR86. During the initial RTV inspection, we actually recommended this customer was okay. Why are we dropping the oil pan today? So his customer is doing his one free track day when you buy these cars from Toyota. Playing it completely safe, we are going to drop the pan, clean the oil strainer, run 5W30 and install the SYMS oil pan baffle. Why don't we see what we found when we dropped the oil pan? At first glance, not that much material. I would say below the average amount of RTV we find inside the oil strainer. Although as I was pulling out RTV from the oil strainer, it looked like more and more stuff kept coming out. And you can see by what came out, there was a lot more in there than I originally thought. Again, it's a constant debate on pictures, right? We only see the top screen in pictures of the oil strainer, and there's a debate like, oh, that thing's 5-sided. You know, there's 4 other sides for that oil strainer to pick up oil. In this instance, you know, one thing that dawned on me was that it's hard to see that left side screen on the oil strainer in all the pictures. You know, historically with all these oil pan drops, we've seen the exact same thing. A lot of that RTV bunches up on that left-hand side. So I feel like after doing so many of these oil pan drops and oil strainer cleanings, we're missing one part of the picture, is that we don't actually get to see the left side of that oil strainer to see if any RTV is blocking up that part. So technically those pictures where we see the top screen blocked, it's probably the top screen and part of the screen on the left, considering, and you guys have probably seen all the time, I don't know why, the RTV always migrates left and bunches up on that left side. This case was the same. As I put my pick and kept on pulling out on the left side, just more and more of that RTV just kept coming out that initially we did not see. This customer came for the 1,000-mile break-in oil change, borescope, and RTV inspection of the oil filter. So only 2,300 miles. So obviously there's only like 1,000 miles on this oil change, and that's why this filter still looks so light. Not going to be a great example because there's so few miles. You can see the filter still picking up. You can see that piece of RTV in there. And so if I roll through, there's another piece in there. But for the most part, relatively clean. Again, not a great example because there's only like 1,000 miles on this filter. Taking a look at what we pulled out, very interesting. A lot of this black stuff, again from the cam carriers, intertwining with that dark gray RTV. By the way, this is a production date 1/23, so you know this is a real 2023. But yeah, super curious. I think this is the first time I've seen the RTV intertwined like this, the dark gray and the black cam carrier strings. What does this mean? Look at that RTV making a question mark. Speak up, man. What does this mean?